Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the hottest show in social media history. I want to welcome you to the midday edition, the lunch edition of the War Zone. You know what time it is. Now, you know tonight we coming on is Malcolm X's birthday. So we gonna dedicate the show to Brother Malcolm. We gonna go in, but right now we got a true heavyweight in the education game, man. In the city of Houston, we're gonna have a discussion. I want to welcome you to the lunch edition of the War Zone. I am the 5-star general, and I saw my brother Larry Mckinzie make a post last night in regards to the Houston Independent School District. And, you know, I've been kind of disconnected from the Houston Independent School District because I've been working other things, and I thought that they kind of navigated the pandemic pretty well. So with no need for me to beat them up because, you know, they my everyday punching bag. And what you're looking at when you see Larry and Gary Monroe is two of the most qualified candidates to ever run for school board in the Houston Independent School District, but yet we don't sit on the school board because we couldn't get past the voting process, which I feel in my heart was flawed. I feel my brother just ran in District 4, and I felt that the numbers reflect that he was cheated out of his position. That's how I feel. It's not going to change because I got the documentation to prove it. But that's a whole totally different story. Last night you made a post, brother, and can you enlighten us on what you actually posted?
All right, I was going over HISD's website, and I saw that they had agreed on districts of innovation. And District of Innovation, for those that don't know, allows HISD to put in uncertified teachers. Now, true enough, they focus on the K classes, career and technical education. But if you have the rule, that means that you'll be able to put uncertified teachers in classrooms, math, science, ELA, and history. So what that does is that moves teachers out of the classroom, certified teachers. And in this world, we have what's called systemic classism or systemic racism. And most of the time, the worst teachers end up at the hard to place schools. So if you think that all of the schools that were placed on IR and HISD is about to be taken over by TEA, this is what's going to cause it to be even worse. So if in since 2000, since 1998, 78 schools have been closed, and 73 of the 78 have been in District 2 or District 4, which is the North Side, Fifth Ward, Scenic Woods, or the South Side, South Park, Third Ward. So now we're about to see something even worse. And the whole agenda is to privatize public education. So I say that and I say this and I mean it to all of the new trustees that are there. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. And the only person that I know that knows better, don't fall for the propaganda that they're giving you is Kathy Bluefer Daniels. I know you know better. So that's what I put in my post yesterday. Teachers are about to have a hard time, and District of Innovation allows for the lessening of conference period time. So if parents are tired of going up there and speaking to teachers who they say don't know what they're doing, because of this, they're actually going to go up there and they're going to speak to teachers that don't know what they're doing.
I'm gonna say this here, man, that right now I watched the last board meeting, and I know the last board that we had last year, you know, with Davila and Lyra and all them folks. It was a very, very dysfunctional school board. But what I watched the other night is I watched a board meeting where I feel that the representation that we have, that these people really don't know what they're doing. Now, I'm gonna speak some harsh words, but I'm not gonna curse because education is my passion. Education is your passion. We both ran for school board, and I don't think they could have found two other better people to sit on the school board than Gary Monroe and Larry Mckinzie. Now I can understand why they don't want me. Oh, he loud, he this, he that. Call it what you want. But I'm far more knowledgeable than the 9 people that sit up there right now. And that may be a slap in the face to a couple of y'all, but it's the realization of what it is. I know this game better than you could ever know it. For one reason, I would never represent the Texas Education Agency as a school board representative. I would represent the children as well as the people that voted me in, and the teachers as well as the actual administration. Now, a district of innovation to me sets the game up. So if y'all didn't understand what Larry just said, I'm breaking it down in the hood terms. It sets the game up for these people to come in here and close these black schools, these black and brown schools, turn them into charter schools and do what they do. See, you have to understand how that whole process works. And normally you need something catastrophic to happen in a city with a school district in order to start this privatization thing. In the city of New Orleans, you had Katrina. After Katrina, everything privatized. Am I right, Larry? So
Yep.
now you got COVID-19. And I keep telling these principals, we're gonna be under attack. Because if you got to go to half a school day or the kids only come to school 2 or 3 times a week, it sets the game up. That's why it was so important to keep Energized for STEM the other night, because you're setting the game up. Energized for STEM is a charter school within our district. And they had actually voted them out the other night at the board meeting. They took 3 closed sessions where they had to go in the back, they had to talk, they had to, whatever you had to do, you had to cut the side deal or whatever until you passed whatever that was, that agenda item to keep that charter entity inside of our school district. A district of innovation will destroy black public schools. So you telling me that as a parent, you would be comfortable with the janitor teaching your child math? Oh, well, and I spoke to a couple of trustees, I'm not going to name their names, about this. Well, if the way they're saying it, if we do it, you don't have to worry about it. It's just in the K classes. Well, hold on a second. I could have sworn the Entertainment Entrepreneurship Academy at Yates is the K course. So you telling me we gonna put somebody in this fabulous program that realistically does not know how to do radio and television and music, and we expect to get the best out of what we're supposed to get? Hell no. Now I'll stand up for a teacher any day of the week. A lot of you guys and ladies have gone to college. You've taken these certification courses. You've spent thousands of dollars on this. So now we just gonna change the game and we just bring in anybody to teach our kids. Hell no. Don't fall for the okie doke. Because if you fall for it, I can guarantee you that it's not going to be what it needs to be. So to break this down to y'all in layman terms, the snake told Eve, if you bite that apple, it's going to be okay. If you trustees bite that apple right now, you can't fix this. You'll never be able to fix it. Well, we could come back later on. No, because by then the game is on. And I'm telling y'all, even though I gave y'all a break, I didn't have to bother you. If you ever attack my schools, and think about it, Larry, how many schools did you say they closed?
78 schools.
And here's the thing, not tooting my horn, because you guys been in this longer than me. Since Monroe showed up, how many black schools been closed?
Jones is still on life support, so I guess that's one. But
so 77 schools before I showed up. You're not touching these schools. If you're looking for a civil war, then you can get one. If you try to pull this district of innovation thing, then you can get one. Now I'm gonna say this, and then I want your input. District of innovation has come up before, but we were all able to go into the boardroom and voice our opinions. Don't y'all find it strange that now that everything is virtual and we can't go in there and fight for our schools, they pull the District of Innovation out the bag? They pull it out the bag because we can't go in there and fight. But if you're looking for a fight outside of your boardroom, all 9 of y'all can get the business. I'm telling you, you already on, right now you're dealing with some issues with the feds. Don't make me compound those damn issues. Go back in your boardroom, get on your phones, your texts, and do away with your District of Innovation because it does not work for Black and brown children.
Absolutely.
You got to know, brother.
If you already been looking at it, seeing exactly what's going on, the trustees that were voted in now have no idea what's going on, and the ones that were left didn't have any idea what was going on. So you have the blind leading the blind, and they're not listening to the people in the community or the people that are trying to help them do things that they need to do to help not only the students, the teachers, the parents, and the whole community. So District of Innovation is a agenda that's being pushed by the governor, Abbott, and the TEA commissioner, Mike Morath, is pushing it also. So HISD is trying to be
So the TEA commissioner, who is basically the guy that makes all the decisions for education, Mr. Mckinzie, how long have you been in a classroom throughout your career?
This is my 25th year in HISD.
25 years in a classroom, am I correct, brother?
Yes.
So the man that makes the decisions, can you tell these people how many years the TEA commissioner, Mike Morath, has been in a classroom?
You rounded up to 1 year. I believe it's been like 8 or 9 months.
So 8 or 9 months. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't in a school that was similar to what we're talking about, a struggling Black and brown school.
Nope.
And you get to make the decisions. Now you come down to Houston, you put the heat on them, you come up with this DOI committee, this DAC committee that's made up supposedly of teachers and blah, blah, blah. Hold on a second. Now you definitely have some teachers that are dumb as a bag of rocks. So I don't know who sits on this committee. I don't know what they're thinking. But at the end of the day, if you're looking for a war, you're going to have one.
Well, let me say this real quick about the DAC committee. Last year, I was on the district advisory committee, and everyone that I sat with voted no to District of Innovation. And this year, it hadn't changed. So just like the SDMC, the DAC committee, and a lot of other committees, they don't listen. They go to whatever the agenda is, the prevailing agenda put forth by whatever government entity like Abbott or TEA. And HISD is trying to get in good with TEA right now because they don't want TEA to take over the district. So this was carefully organized. This was carefully planned. And for those people that don't believe in voting, this is the reason why you need to vote, because you don't have people in there that are espousing or advocating the things you need in your community. Y'all talk about Trump, but your local voting counts more towards you than your federal and your state.
Now, I'm going to say this here, and I know I'm going to make some people mad. You have 9 people on the school board, am I correct?
Yep.
Out of those 9 people, how many of them are Republican, do you know?
7.
7 of them are Republicans or 7 of them are Democrats?
It's either 6 or 7 of them are Republicans. One of them, rides the fence. So sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 7 Republicans on HISD's trustee board. So you know that they're not looking out for the things that we need in our communities. And some of them are Black and some of them are brown, and they vote against the things that we need. And when they were about to take that vote, I emailed all of them. Matter of fact, text to several of them And I have no reason to lie to anyone. I understand that, some of them, they need to know what it is to be a teacher. And I can tell them. And one of them that won in the District 4 was, I know she doesn't know. And I wish she would call me and just listen to some of my suggestions. Yeah, kind of look like we have some technical difficulties, but I'm glad that y'all are on here because this is important. Because when the new school year starts, they're going to implement a lot of things that are going to affect the children, the teachers, the parents, everyone. So it's HISD is top heavy, and they're not going to change the rules to get rid of some of the upper administrators, but they will change the rules to get rid of the teachers. And with this COVID-19, we're going to need all the help we can get, and we won't have it.
All right, so I'm back.
Go ahead.
I want to go back to 7 of 9 Republicans. Now, I could have swore when we were out campaigning, because I campaigned with some of the people that are on the current school board. I campaigned with the Song, the Villasecas, and the Wanda Adamses and those people. And you happen, and Sue Dygard, and you campaigned with the rest of them when you just ran. I could have swore all these people said they were Democrats. I could have swore all these people said they were Democrats. Now, this is the way that I think. They may have voted as a Democrat, and you've heard me say this 1,000 times, but they make Republican moves. Now, the thing is I'm nonpartisan. I could care less. But you camouflaging who you really are. So that's not the issue, Republican or Democrat right now. The issue is a district of innovation and how it would actually hurt the African American and the brown children in the process. Now, I'm going to say this here. You people, especially groups like Houston GPS, and I'm going to pick on them, the union, the teachers union, you go and you endorse these people who realistically don't have a connection to our community. You endorse these people. They get into these positions. They don't listen to the voters. See, I'm going to tell you why y'all would love me as in any elected position. Because I would have monthly meetings, and that I would make sure that when the agenda came out for whatever position that I held, I would have a meeting expeditiously. Because y'all would tell me how to vote. Because I work with y'all. So the thing is, if everybody's screaming no district of innovation, then why would these trustees go and start the process? I don't want to hear that we just want to see. I don't need to see nothing. So let's just say hypothetical. Because at this moment right now, me and you both should be sitting on the school board. I should be in 9 and you should be in 4. So if we were sitting on the school board and this came up the other night, what would be your position?
My position is no DOI because it adversely affects the communities that I live in, which is District 4. So that's a no from me, period.
Now, that would be him in District 4. Now, District 9, Mr. Monroe, do you have something to say? It's nothing to talk about. I don't even want to have the discussion. I'm not voting for it. I'm not dealing with it. My people don't want it, and that's the end of that. And I cut that microphone off. This is why they don't want us up there. Because we would actually work for these children. I don't want to hear uncertified teachers in anybody's classroom. Nobody. A K class, a math class, an English class, ELA class. No. No. Now, if you want to do this, why don't you go create a budget and give all these teachers back that paid for certification? give them their money back. But you know where all these uncertified teachers are going to be? In what they call hard to staff positions.
That's right.
And where are those hard to staff positions located at, Larry?
In the brown and black community.
So you mean to tell me that they got hard to staff positions at Sterling, Yates, Booker T, Worthing, Fleming, Cullen, Madison? You notice the names? North Forest, Forest Brook Middle School. So you're going to put all these uncertified people in these hard to staff positions. Now, this is a myth that I don't even believe exists. I don't believe that there's no such thing as a hard to staff position. Because I know HISD has the power, and I've seen them exercise it, that if they want a position staff, they'll tell you, you need to go to this school. Well, I work over here. We don't care. You going over there. Have you seen that before?
Absolutely. They pay for what they want, and what people don't understand is in HISD they actually have a title or a type of job where you can go somewhere and not be certified, and that's a lecturer. But I want to pose this question to everyone so that they'll understand exactly what's going on. When you go to the doctor, you want a certified doctor. When you see the dentist, you want a certified dentist. When you go anywhere, you want someone who is certified mechanics, you got certified everything, but then you want to give your child, your gold, your platinum, someone who's not certified. Not that the people can't do the job, but you want to give them someone who's not certified. That's
And
how important it is.
and you know what's amazing? You name those positions. So I'll take it a step further. When you wake up on Sundays and you go to your church, I'm pretty sure your pastor has some type of documentation or certification theology school
That's
that he
right.
went to. But when it comes to our children, you're willing to put anybody and their mama in a classroom with them. And then you expect them to perform at the highest level. No, don't work like that. See, these hard to staff positions are not at their marquee schools. It's not at, what a debate.
Pen Oak,
It's not at Pin Oak. It's not at Lamar. So I tell you what you could do. Why don't you go over to Lamar and tell some of them highly qualified teachers, take your behind over there to South Park and Third Ward. Won't you do that? Instead of, because I've actually sat in the personnel office in the summer, I would go sit in the personnel office and just talk to applicants and ask them, have you researched this district before you come here? Well, I just graduated from PV. Well, you about to kill your whole career if you come here. Instead of and it's not that the kids out of college can't do the job. When you sending them to the Yateses and the Sterlings and the Worthings, these are gladiator schools. You have to work them people up to them schools, man. But they will throw these kids in the lion's den and just the hell with them. But now, as long as you got an associate's degree, what's the purpose of having a bachelor's degree if you don't need to be certified? You see what I'm saying?
That's it.
If that's the case, then let's just change all the rules. Let's just change all the rules. Okay, does that mean if they don't need certification, then when it comes to athletics, our coaches don't have to be certified teachers anymore? Because I promise you, if you do that, you're going to switch the whole football game in HISD, because some real football coaches can now coach football. I want you to think about what you're doing. So no, I don't support that. And anything that TEA is telling them to do right now, ain't nobody trying to hear that. TEA, if you want the district, come take it. Just come do what you need to do. But selling our kids out so that it does not have to happen, no, I can't support that. I can't support that. And anybody that sits up there and agrees to that, That means you lied when you were on the campaign trail. That means you just flat out lied. That means that the oath that you took when you put your hand on that Bible that day that they swore you in, you're in violation of your own oath. Stop acting like that as a trustee that you are doing what's best for children. No, you're not. As far as the teachers union, in the middle of these DOI conversations, the only thing the teachers union is trying to do is keep the money flowing. They could give a damn and care less about kids. We know they don't give a damn about teachers based on the fact they done let a bunch of teachers get railroaded.
Yep.
Lose their jobs, their careers, as well as their certification. So the ones that lost their certification that we knew were highly qualified teachers, can you bring them back? Because I'll take them. Because I know they had the certification and I know they could clown in their classroom and get the results. Say, man, this HISD is the Garden of Eden. TEA is the devil. And HISD, you the apple. And if you bite off that apple, I promise you, if you think I ain't got more information on you clowns, I'm going to give you some problems. And honestly, you really don't want those problems. I'm not nice like Larry. I'm not nice like Travis. I'm a goddamn fool when it comes to these kids. And that's the only way that I can say it. What are some more ramifications of a district of innovation? What are some more downfalls of a district of innovation, Larry?
Well, see, the things about District of Innovation, the things that they're trying to offer in the District of Innovation, we actually had in the community school model. But if you realize in 2009, over 500 teachers were let go. And then 2011, over 700 teachers were let go. And those were primarily brown and black teachers that were stakeholders in their community schools. So now you're trying to give us everything that we lost previously back, but you're not making teachers be certified. So everything that you already wanted is really able to be in HISD, but because you have a bias, a systemic racism, then it doesn't work for us. But DOI works for districts that are small districts, and all of the kids go to one high school, all of the kids go to one middle school, and there are no charter schools in those districts, or it's very small. But HISD, DOI stuff we already had in the community school model. So for anyone that knows it, should always vote no. Now we have to undo it, just like we need to undo the closing of those 78 schools. We need to undo some of the magnet programs, and we need to do the things that it's going to take to make sure that our kids are educated properly.
I think one of the biggest problems that we have, and I'm sorry, but I just need you people to follow me. That if you live in an affluent white neighborhood, you can't think that you can keep speaking for poor black schools. You don't have a clue what we go through. You don't have a clue what our children go through. You know, people that have these great opinions like Houston GPS or my man over there with Children's at Risk. You don't know what goes on in our schools. You don't know the work that a Tiffany Guillory at Yates or Kalia Campbell Rome at Worthing puts in. You know what I'm saying? You don't know the issues that Connie deals with. See, I can call them by first name. You don't know the issues that Connie deals with at North Forest. You feel what I'm saying? They don't have a clue what we deal with on a daily basis. So I'm not for it, and that's what it is. And everybody got to have certification. The mechanic that work on your car, the beautician got to have certification. That do you have? The nail tech got to have certification. But the education of black children, we willing to cut a corner. We willing to cut a corner. No, not gonna work on my watch. And I tell you what, brother. Um, when you ran, I got out there for you. I bust my behind, and I'm gonna say this that I know that you were cheated, and that's what it is. You know, didn't sit well with them to have you on the school board. They definitely didn't want me, but I'm gonna mess with y'all. Wanda Adams won the precinct 7 place 1 race against Jeremy Brown, and we know in January that Wanda goes over to be a judge, right? So that means in my district, if all I got to do is just sit in that room with y'all doing the application process, I'm gonna make you tell me, all 9 of y'all, that you don't want me as the representative in District 9. There is no one better, and you know it just like I know it. But you know what? You're gonna have to tell me I can't do it. You're gonna have to tell me I can't do it. So why don't you get out there and get some of your little friends that's bought and paid for to apply for it? I'm cool with that. But you're gonna tell me I can't do it. But I can tell you this here. I don't understand how these people can go to sleep at night with some of the decisions that they make. And I'm gonna just ask you a point blank question, brother, because I mean you're a great advocate for education. I've learned a lot from this man since I've been in the game. One of my teachers that teach me how to deal with things. Do you realistically think in the United States of America that these people want to educate black kids point blank?
No, not at all. That's
Can
why
you
it's a must that we have teachers that represent our communities, and we have to have elected officials that represent our communities so that we can make sure that our kids get educated. You can't expect the enemy to educate your child. Malcolm X on his birthday.
hold on? I'm reading something. I want to read something from Robert Williams. He says a district of innovation allows each district more flexibility to make decisions on class size, certification, holidays, etc., which makes it appear the state has given them room to improve their districts without having to go through the state. The problem is these small allowances won't have a significant impact on improving the school success numbers, and the state knows that. But now they can say, we gave you what you needed, but you're still failing. Take over the schools. He say I sat on the District of Innovation board for my district. My recommendation was, even though we knew they were setting us up to let us fail, let us at least use the loopholes they have given us to improve our district, like hiring retirees from nursing who didn't want to take certification, that kind of thing. So bottom line, it's a setup. It's
Yep.
a setup. I ain't trying to
Imagine.
hear nothing TEA talking about. The only thing TEA can do for me, and I said it 6 months ago, come in and take over this school district. It's corrupt. It is what it is. Oh, well, we don't want to lose our democratic process. Well, remember, you got some Democrats up there, they really masquerading because they Republicans on the cool. They make Republicans moves. So when you look at their campaign finance reports, and this is how I determine that they make Republican moves. Look at where they got their money from.
That's right.
Look at where they got their money from. Then you'll understand why some of them make the moves that they make. So a district of innovation ain't nothing but a setup. It's a setup. I don't want to hear it. Because everywhere you go and you look at these big school districts that have done it, all you ended up with was a bunch of school closures.
That's right. Now,
Bunch of
see, I
failing
don't.
classrooms.
Now,
How
see,
you
I
gonna
don't.
control? How you gonna? And this is a question for you, Larry. How do you control classroom sizes in schools that you purposely made smaller when you rebuilt them? You purposely increased the classroom sizes. Now with COVID-19, which they, Dallas is doing 10 to 12 students in a classroom. I'd love to see them pull that off at Lamar when it's 40, 50 kids in a classroom. So where you gonna have all these kids going to school? Oh well, they'll go for 3 days a week. I tell you what they gonna do. If they go to school for 3 days a week, they ain't coming.
Yeah,
So
well,
that means
see,
they get to
you
hit the streets for the other two.
you have to realize that all of this didn't just happen overnight. With the magnet schools that they have, many of the students that are zoned to Sterling or Yates, now realize Sterling was built for 2,700 kids when the original Sterling was built. Now the new Sterling is built for 1,300 to 1,700 kids. You look at Yates, Yates was built for 3,300 kids, and now the new Yates can hold 2,200 to 2,300 kids. So now they're rebuilding Lamar, and Lamar was only built for 3,200 kids, but the new Lamar is built for 34 to 3,600 kids. They are making money off of our kids, and we're not representing our kids. We're not sending them to the schools that are in our community and asking for the same human resources, teacher resources, money resources in our own communities. Now, I advocate that TEA does not take over HISD. But the thing is we have a bunch of people that are on board on the HISD board that are just trying to please people that they are around instead of trying to advocate and please the people that from the communities that they're from. So we sit here and we look at all these schools and we look at all these new buildings that they're pretty, but if all of our students go to all of these schools, West Side and Lamar and Bel Air, when they leave, they can sell the building as a business building, all of this new swing space. So you need to pay attention. And like I said before, in 2009, 500 teachers were let go. 2011, 700 teachers were let go. And most of those teachers were Black and brown teachers. So now you got a District of Innovation. Realize that in the last 2 years, Teach for America contract was voted down. So now what do we need? We need some new teachers that don't know the history of HISD. And we want to put in some people that will just work for money. And you have people that do not know the community that they're working in. And the same thing that happened with TFA, they would teach for 2 or 3 years and they would leave. Then we had to put some more teachers in there that are unfamiliar with our kids. Because and realize that when you're talking about kids, you're talking about from 5 to 19. So if we go in and put in a bunch of retirees, and I don't have a problem with retirees because hopefully one day I can retire. But the thing is you got all these young kids coming in that have not been taught respect and courtesy for their elders. So then when you put those uncertified retirees in, guess what? Then they treat them badly, and all of a sudden they're introducing from the school to prison pipeline.
So
There is a
here's a
system.
question for you.
Uh-huh.
Now you the teacher, 25 years. Do you know of a time, and it's just a yes or no question, that we can use the data in HISD to show that uncertified teachers do not work?
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you how I know that's true. Now we might be on two different levels. On any given day in the Black and brown schools, at least 35 to 40% of those teachers are substitute teachers that don't have certification. They sitting in these classrooms and these kids ain't learning jack shit. Nothing. Madison High School, half their population on the teacher side last year was substitute teachers. But that's the byproduct of having a damn fool run your school. So if you're telling me that we can take these uncertified teachers and put them in a classroom and we can get the results, I'm gonna tell you this school year alone, you a lie because it couldn't be done with the substitutes who were uncertified. It
That's
couldn't
it.
be done. So I'm showing you that we're already doing the District of Innovation with uncertified teachers because our black and brown schools are flooded with substitute teachers on a daily. Now, a school that's hard to staff, I tell you what you could do. You can get an administrator and decide the day that you hire him for that school, that you're going to leave him there for 5 to 7 years. Let's get some stability in the building, first of all. Now, what you can do is go look at what that school does not have. Now, Kathy Buford Daniels, one of the things that was in her platform when she ran was she wanted to see more, what's the word I'm looking for? More vocational programs coming to the school, which is a good thing. Now,
Right.
I don't want to bust your bubble, Kathy, but when they rebuilt these schools and designed them, if they didn't put that program into the initial blueprint, it ain't coming in that school because it ain't nowhere to put it. It ain't nowhere to put it. It has to be built into the actual blueprint. So when they telling you, yeah, we'll put this in the school, and now hold on a second. I tell you what you can do. Why don't you go get your best high school, regular high school, not one of the specialty ones, like Lamar. Why don't you take everything that's in Lamar and put it in Sterling? You want to create equity? That's how you create equity. Because you didn't create equity when you did us a favor by rebuilding our schools. So some of us didn't want our schools rebuilt. Oh, well, these schools are so old. Well, James D. Ryan was old, the middle school. And you put no technology and nothing in that school until you ran those kids up out of there. In my black neighborhood, ran them up out of there. Then you bust in 100% of your population from the other side of town. You put every ounce of technology that you could find inside of that old building, and it became one of the best schools that you could have in the school district. So when you rebuilt the schools, I know this for a fact, Larry, and you think about it. I'm going to pick on your school. When somebody asked me one day, what you think of the new Sterling? I say, I'm not impressed. Why? I say, because if they had 100 teachers in the old Sterling and you rebuilt the school and now they got 100 teachers in the new one, you didn't put nothing new in there. You got the same amount of teachers you had in the old one. So all you did was give them a new shell. You didn't give them anything new to work with. You didn't give them anything new to galvanize them. So if you want to create equity, everything you got in Lamar and Bel Air, give it to Sterling. Give it to Yates. Give it to North Forest. North Forest had a CATE program, auto mechanics. I went there, I saw it. Where these kids could learn how to fix on these cars, brand new everything, Larry. For a whole year, no damn teacher. No teacher. But we screaming equity. Talk to me, brother.
Yeah, we don't have any equity in the schools that we have now. As a matter of fact, to go back to what you were saying, the programs that are working well in the Lamar and the West Side and the Bel Air are the same program in Jones, Sterling, Worthing, and Yates, and Booker T. So what they did is they took the good programs out and put them in their schools. And in taking the good programs out, what they did is they took the kids away. So the kids, well, the parents don't want to send their kids to a bad school or school that doesn't have good educational programs or good vocational programs. So we already had it and they were struggling. So they moved our programs. IB used to be at Yates. Vanguard used to be at, IB was at Jones. Vanguard was at Jones. And they moved all of that to Carnegie. Now, Carnegie is one of the better schools, but all of that came from Jones High School.
Okay, but tell the truth. If you can't say it, I'm going to say it now. So you telling me Carnegie Vanguard was inside of Jesse H. Jones?
Yes.
And then they moved it over off of Belford, am I correct?
Off of Scott and Airport.
Scott and Airport. And then all of a sudden, they gave them their own school, am I right?
That's right.
So tell them, if you can't say it, just say, I can't say it. I'll say it for you. Why they did that? Why they did that? Y'all looking at me? Because them white folk didn't want their kids to go to school with us.
That's
And
it.
they wanted their own school. So these people took from a black school and created them their own school.
That's it.
And that's
And then
just the bottom line.
mm,
So you strip Jones of everything that it had. Jones, Worthing, Yates, Sterling, Madison, Booker T, all of them. At one time, we were all rocking and rolling with at least 2,500 kids apiece. Everybody had wood shop, everybody had metal shop, everybody had everything. Each
auto
school had,
mechanics. That's right.
yeah, everybody had auto mechanics, but each school had a magnet program that was different. Worthing had their pressing thing, you know what I'm saying? Where they were doing shirts, they were making money with the community, they were thriving. Yates had the School of Communications, they were totally different. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody was different. Then all of a sudden, we wake up and they just start pulling everything out of our schools. Well, as a parent, you want your kid to get the best education. Then you start sending us these garbage teachers and these garbage principals. But the kicker is when the administration started flipping, every 2 to 3 years we got a new principal. No stability on the administration side. No stability. And if you look at some things, the way that they doing it now, man, I mean, I just saw a principal, and I'm not gonna say the name, that was voted principal of the year by HEB, right?
Yep.
And I firmly remember doing my band last year, and that was this school year, that a kid was maliciously beat on your campus by a HISD police officer. Tried to cover it up. Eventually, they had to fire the cop. You see what I'm saying? HISD is about doing favors. Now, the good thing I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna figure it out as an old man. They're gonna call me Big Brother OG. I'm
Mm.
gonna go to and I decided I'm gonna, and I don't want you to be upset with me. I decided I'm gonna finish my education at Texas Southern University after I finish where I'm at now. I gotta go there 4 years. But the thing is they flipped our administrations, they made us unstable, you took everything from us, and now you do this open enrollment thing. Well, they can go to school anywhere they want, long as they live in the district.
Yeah, that's an illusion.
Yeah, they can go anywhere they want. So now you believe in your heart as a parent, your kid can't get a quality education at Yates. But you know what's crazy to me, and you can speak on this. You will run your kid over to Lamar because they're gonna get a better education than they'll get at Yates or Sterling or Worthing. But then why are the white and the Asian parents in the senior year, they kids, they kids senior year, snatching their kids out of Lamar and Bel Air and sending them over to Yates, Worthing, and Sterling to get the valedictorian claims, to fall into so their GPA can be higher, so that they
Mm.
can graduate in the top 10%.
That's
Our
right.
school, our schools are not great schools for our children, but in your child's senior year, that's what you do to yours. That's why you see these black schools with these Asian valedictorians and salutatorians. No knock to the kids, they earned it. You feel what I'm saying? But I
Yep.
will say this here, the education that you get at Yates and Sterling is not the education you get at Lamar and Bel Air. Because your GPA at Lamar could be a 2.5, and you fall up into one of our schools, 4.0.
Huh. Now you said a couple of things that a lot of people don't understand, that HISD set it up so that we could have a destabilized school by putting in inexperienced principals. Years of 2007, 2008, you had people who in HISD that lobbied the Texas state legislature to decrease the number of years that you had to teach in a classroom before you became an administrator. As a matter of fact, in 2008, it was down to no time. So you could actually become a teacher. And then if you had a friend that was in human resources, they could put you over a school as a principal. Now, when I first started teaching, you had to teach 3 to 5 years to be an AP. and then you had to be an AP for 3 to 5 more years before you became a principal. So now we got a bunch of inexperienced principals that are inside of these schools that are not stakeholders in the community. And it's amazing that you said something about uh, these schools or these parents that are pulling their child out of these schools so that they could be number one, number two, and be in the top of 10%. This is absolutely true. This is
They do it every
absolutely
year.
true. So, as the same way that they do in sports is the same way they do in academia. So, if you want to do something, call your trustee, call your superintendent, call your principal, and ask questions. Ask them about the things that we are saying today. And if they say, "Oh no, they don't know what they're talking about," then you just go ahead and you hit me on Facebook, and we'll talk about it, and I'll tell you what to ask them. Hit Monroe on Facebook, and he'll tell you what to say. You got to realize the agenda is against us right now, and unless we work together, we're going to end up back on the plantation, and I'm not going.
Well, I tell you this here, I'll fight tooth and nail for these kids. And I know district officials are watching this and trustees are watching this. You trustees, you promised these people that you would do the right things. You promised them. And those that are up for election next year, I'm going to say it today so it ain't no secret. If you vote for a district of innovation, and I know the ones that's up for election, Villaseka, Sung, and Santos, I'll make you the same promise that I made Sergio Lira as well as Deanna Davila. You will not get one black vote. None. And if I remember that correctly, Larry, they were the only two politicians in those races that got their behinds whooped on election night and did not go to a runoff. When I strip you of your black vote, you are done. And I promise you, if you vote for it, you ain't got to leave, but you finna get the hell up out of here. I can promise you that. No, it's nothing that I don't trust TEA as far as I can see them. But I know we need a reset. So I think that the politicians that are watching this, why don't you go and understand that education will never be the same based on COVID-19? Why don't you lobby right now, start the process to get rid of state mandated testing? These kids are graduating this year. These kids are being promoted this year. It is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Get
Absolutely.
rid of state mandated testing. We don't need it. But how much a year does that actually cost in the state of Texas for these state mandated tests, Larry?
Oh, came up to for the whole state of Texas, I believe it was $9 billion or 9 million or 9 billion. It's a lot of money.
So can we get a refund on that this year? Because our kids ain't taking it. Can we get some of our money back?
Money back.
Or is that your little homeboy that own the company that shoots the test out? Can we get some of that change back?
Oh no. You know that ain't happening.
Classroom experience cannot be substituted. I'm gonna tell you right now, some people cannot handle a classroom. I mean, when I hear teachers, I can't deal with this 6-year-old. If you can't deal with a 6-year-old, you definitely can't deal with a 16-year-old. You don't need to be in a classroom. But right now, these people will pluck a teacher off. HISD struggling right now. One, and I'm gonna say this for y'all, because y'all lay it on the line every day, even during the pandemic, busting your behinds. When you gonna pay them what they worth? So if we go to a year-round model, like Granita is alluding to, that they're looking at it, how much more money my teachers gonna make? And you crazy as hell to work for a school district that'll go to a year-round model and you're still making less than everybody else? When is the union going to stand up for that? When they finish lining their pockets, maybe they'll stand up. The union does not speak for my community. Period.
No,
And
it
you may
doesn't.
not, when it's time to pick one, the successor, to finish off her term, you can bring anybody in that room that you want, because I am going to apply. But the one thing you're going to be saying in your head, he overqualified. You better bring a sucker in there and a dummy to accomplish your goal. But those that are running, I promise you, I'm going to sidetrack your election run. You will never sit in those seats again. You will never. And we won't forget about those that ain't running. Because if you do it, when it's your turn to run, you're going to get your ass out of here too. No district of innovation. No district.
Absolutely.
I want to applaud you, teachers, man, for the work that you guys have been doing during the pandemic. I know the transition from the classroom to online. And Larry, I found something strange, man. Now, you know I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer, man. You know I'm 2 sandwiches short of a picnic. But why we had to issue laptops out when the pandemic popped? I thought they supposed to issue them off at the beginning of the school year. So you mean to tell me these kids didn't have no laptops? I'm nervous.
Well, I'm gonna put it like this: the haves have, and the have-nots have nots. Period.
Let me put Shonda Walters' comment up. Just because you are certified does not mean you have what it takes to manage a classroom. I interview lots of potential teachers and can tell who can make it or who has the will to learn. Well, let me ask you a question, Shonda. That was a great comment. Based on what you see on me on social media, throwing money at the school board, would you vote for me for trustee since you're a good judge of character? Would you vote for a man that done touched every aspect of education in the Houston Independent School District? From special ed, I was on the special ed ad hoc committee. Would you vote for me? I understand the bond. I helped figure out that they were taking money from the bond program. I work with principals every day. I mentor children. But don't base it on what you see on this internet. Don't base it on what you see when I'm blowing in a boardroom. Would you vote for me? I'm going to tell you what you need to think about. That is not even an option. I am the most qualified person that could sit on your school board, but you wouldn't vote for me because I don't wear suit and ties. I don't cow down. I don't kiss ass. I fight for what's right. So yeah, you might be a great judge of character, but I'd be damned if you get your nails done by an uncertified nail technician. So if you can't get your nails done by an uncertified nail technician, I'd be damned if a black kid should be educated by an uncertified teacher.
Well, it's amazing that people talk about and I thank you for saying that because you're in the fight, Miss Chandra. And but in my experience as a teacher, I've taught at the best of schools. I've taught at Lamar, and I've taught at the worst of schools. I guess you would call CEP one of the worst of schools. You don't realize the differences in the teachers that are present in your school. And you know what? You probably, in the brown and black schools, you have teachers that are certified in content areas. I mean, are not certified in content areas. Most of them are generalists. And in the more affluent schools, you have teachers that are certified in the content areas, and it shows up in the kids that they produce. So as far as classroom management goes, it all depends on where you are. And I don't know what school that you teach, I'm glad that you're on here listening, because a lot of people and a lot of teachers are so scared right now that they don't care. As long as that check comes, then they'll keep taking the abuse that's being afforded to them by the upper administration. So, as an administrator, please be a stakeholder for the community that your school is in. Don't just be a stakeholder for HISD, because HISD, the agenda that they're using right now, is not for the brown and black communities. And if your school is in a brown or black community, you're going to have to walk that fine line to represent the students, because that's what we're there for. When somebody asks all those questions, and, hey, what are you here for? You're here for the students. You're not here for HISD. Period.
And we gotta always remember that we're here for the kids. We're here for the kids. The kids need a fighting chance. Now, if a kid blow it, then I can't get mad at the school district, but at least give them a fighting chance. You see what I'm saying? Just give them a fighting chance, man. Today is Malcolm X's birthday. And one of the most profound comments that he's ever made, that if you don't have an education, you're done. How did he know this? Almost 70 years ago. So 70 years ago, a man said that if you don't have an education, you're basically done. Do you see that look in my eye? Man, I'm 52 years old, still trying to get an education. We cannot allow this to happen. And you know what makes me so mad? That the people making these decisions that have the most influence is two people. You have a superintendent that's black that will sit here and play this game. And then you have a board, if you look at their voting records, Democrats. But we keep saying it's the Republicans that's screwing us over. Look at your 9 trustees. I'm pretty sure that voting record will say Democrat. But it's always the Republicans that's screwing us over. I ain't got no love for them right now. None. Period. Point blank. I appreciate everything you do, brother, for these kids. I mean, they done tried to fire this man so many times just because he advocate for kids. Is unreal. But you hang in there. You keep coming back. You keep doing what you need to do. Black and brown kids need a chance. You know, and honestly, the Larrys, the Travises, the Monroes, the Tahils, these my brothers. We don't just show up when the cameras show up. We show out every day with this. This is what we do. Yeah, you hear me talking politics. You hear me doing this. You hear me doing that. You know, internet show. Education is my arena. And it's Larry's arena. We do this for real. And I want every one of y'all out there that had to cast a vote in District 4 and District 9, ask yourself the $1 million question right now. How in the hell are these two not sitting on the school board? Because remember what I told them, Larry, when I ran. I say, when TEA come knocking, you're going to need some soldiers in the room. And TEA knocking hard. And we ain't got no soldiers in the room. Your soldiers on the sideline. But I tell you what, we can start a war on the sideline too. And I don't think you want the army we going to bring to the party. Because we the calm ones. When these parents figure out what you're doing to their kids, you might have some problems. Give them your final thoughts, my brother.
Well, I want to give it to everyone and let you know I'm not just someone who's on here talking about it. I'm being about it. And I'm a stakeholder in the community of HISD. I have a son. I've had sons in HISD, and I still have a son in HISD. So if you're wondering, do I have a dog in this fight? Yes, I have a dog in this fight. I got a son that's in HISD. I work for HISD. I'm an advocate, sometimes an activist for the community that I live in. So everything that I've said, you can go look it up and you can research it, and you'll see that it's true. And it's always a good time for the truth. So if you could do nothing but demand the truth from the people that you have on the HISD trustee board, then demand the truth. Speak up for those that can't speak, and then take a look at those that are remaining silent, because you'll know that they are benefiting from whatever's going on. So please come out, be heard, speak up, don't be silent. That's it.
I tell you what, man. Thank you for what you do for these kids every day, brother. Thank you for making that post last night. It relit a fire up under me because I've been off doing a bunch of other stuff. But you know me, I'm a phone call away. And I'm going to leave them with words from one of the most influential philosophers in our history, James Prince. If you want to go to war, I'm going to take you to war. I want to thank my lunch guest, my brother in the fight, Larry Mckinzie, 25-year educator, one of the smartest dudes I know. Teach me something every day. Tonight, 7 o'clock, is Malcolm X's birthday. And we're going to dedicate the show to Brother Malcolm tonight. If that ain't up your alley, then don't pop in, because we're going to keep it real, we're going to keep it black. Because some days we got to do that. In HISD, it's a storm coming. Hurricane Monroe is on the horizon. Time for you to shit or get off the pot. I see you at 7 o'clock.